Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going beyond the AI hype and diving right into the reality of AI in 2025.
Sounds good.
We've got this awesome report
Oh, yeah.
called the 2025 State of AI Development, and it's based on a survey of over 1,250 AI builders. So
Wow.
if you're working with AI or really just curious about where things really stand right now, I think this is going to be a really interesting deep dive for you.
Yeah, this is fascinating. It's a really interesting snapshot of this pivotal moment where AI is, shifting from theory into practice.
That's right. And, there's so much buzz around AI these days, it can be hard to separate the signal from the noise.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the first things that really jumped out at me from this report was that only about 25% of businesses have actually deployed AI applications into production. Did that surprise you at all?
Not entirely.
Oh, okay.
While it might seem low, building and deploying these systems is still pretty new territory for a lot of companies.
Yeah, that's true.
The report actually shows an almost even split between those in production, those building proofs of concept, and then still strategizing.
I guess I just assumed more companies would be further along by now.
Right.
What do you think is holding them back?
Well, the report points to tooling as a major bottleneck.
Okay.
Remember, AI development is complex. You need the right tools to build, test, deploy, and monitor these systems effectively, and it seems like that's an area that's still catching up.
So even if a company has a great use case in mind,
Yeah.
the lack of proper tools could be what's stopping them.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And even those companies that have moved into production, they're primarily focused on specific applications.
Okay.
The report shows that document parsing and analysis, customer service chatbots, and analytics with natural language are leading the pack.
Yeah, that makes sense given all the advancements we've seen in natural language processing over the past couple of years. But
Right.
Analytics with natural language, that one really piqued my interest. It feels like AI is moving beyond simple tasks and into more complex territory.
Absolutely.
Is that what you're seeing as well?
Absolutely. This trend highlights how AI is becoming capable of more intricate reasoning.
Okay.
Think about it. Early models were great at parsing text,
Right.
hence the popularity of document analysis.
Yeah.
Then with advancements in conversational AI and larger context windows,
Yeah.
we saw the rise of chatbots and these more nuanced analytical capabilities.
Okay, so we've established that text is a big deal in AI.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what about other forms of data? Has AI truly gone beyond just words?
That's a great question. While text is still dominant, accounting for nearly 94% of AI applications, there's a definite surge in what we call multimodal AI.
Okay.
Images are nearing 50% adoption, and audio and video are steadily gaining traction.
So AI is learning to see and hear, so to speak.
Yeah.
What's driving this shift towards working with multiple data types?
It's directly linked to the progress in large language models, or LLMs, and generative models. LLMs can now handle images and voice inputs.
Right.
And we have models specifically designed for generating images and audio. This opens up a whole new world of possibilities for AI applications.
It sounds like things are getting really interesting. Now, I've got to ask about the big players in the AI space.
Sure.
Is OpenAI still the top dog, or are we seeing some new contenders emerge?
OpenAI does maintain a strong presence, but the landscape is becoming more diverse. Companies now have more choices.
Yeah.
They can access models directly from providers like OpenAI or through platforms like Azure.
So there's this interesting split between going directly to the source and using a platform.
Yeah.
I wonder what factors influence that decision for companies.
It likely boils down to existing infrastructure cost considerations and the specific features offered by each option.
Okay.
The report highlights that larger companies tend to lean towards cloud solutions, which aligns with their broader IT strategies.
So in a way, the AI world is mirroring the trends we see in the larger tech landscape.
Precisely. And on top of that, we're seeing a rise in providers hosting open source models, which could further shake things up.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now let's circle back to tooling, something we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
The report had some pretty surprising findings about how companies are handling this crucial aspect of AI development.
Yeah, for sure.
What stood out to you?
Well, over half of the teams, surveyed 52.2% to be exact, rely on internal tooling instead of third-party solutions.
Wow, I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah.
Why would so many companies choose to build their own tools when there are options already available?
Right.
Wouldn't that be more expensive and time-consuming?
It's definitely a curious finding. Perhaps existing tools aren't meeting their specific needs, or maybe they're prioritizing greater control and customization over their development process. It's something worth exploring further. Imagine, for example, if you were developing a very specialized AI application.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd need tools that just don't exist yet on the market.
It's a good reminder that AI development isn't a one-size-fits-all situation. But let's be realistic, building AI systems can't be all smooth sailing, right?
Of course not.
What are some of the challenges that companies are facing?
You're absolutely right. There are definitely hurdles to overcome.
Yeah.
The report highlights managing AI hallucinations and prompts, prioritizing use cases, and a lack of technical expertise as the top 3 challenges.
Hallucinations. I've heard a lot about those moments when AI seemingly makes things up. It must be so frustrating for developers.
It's a major concern for sure. We're still working on ways to make AI systems more reliably truthful and accurate.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting to see these organizational challenges cropping up, like figuring out which use cases to prioritize and finding the right talent. It shows that as AI matures, the challenges evolve too.
So it's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
But how companies adapt and integrate AI into their workflows.
Yeah.
Now, one aspect of development that's often overlooked is evaluation. Are companies actually taking the time to assess the performance of their AI systems?
The good news is that over 57% of developers are performing evaluations, and most of the remaining group plan to pay.
Okay.
There's definitely a growing awareness of its importance.
That's encouraging, but how are they actually evaluating their systems?
Yes.
Are there sophisticated tools for this, or is it still a very manual process?
And here's where we hit another surprise. The most common method used by over 75% of developers is manual testing and review.
Really?
Despite all the investment in other areas of AI development, it seems like we're still relying on human judgment to a large extent.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So even though we have these incredibly advanced AI systems, we still need humans in the loop to make sure they're working properly.
It seems so.
It makes you wonder if 2025 will be a turning point for evaluation tooling.
It very well could be. As AI systems become even more complex, manual testing may just not cut it anymore. It seems like there's a real opportunity for more automated and robust evaluation solutions to emerge.
So we build the AI, we evaluate it hopefully, and then it's time for deployment. But what happens after that? How do we ensure that these AI systems continue to perform as expected once they're out in the real world?
That brings us to the crucial topic of monitoring AI models, especially those based on deep learning, can produce unexpected outputs even after rigorous testing.
Yeah.
So monitoring them in production is essential to catch any deviations or potential problems early on.
It's like having a safety net.
Yeah.
Making sure the AI is staying on track. So are companies taking this monitoring step seriously?
Their report shows that over 52% of respondents are already monitoring their AI models in production.
Okay.
That's a positive sign that awareness is growing.
And how are they approaching this monitoring? Are they using specialized tools, or is it more of a do-it-yourself situation?
Interestingly, the majority, about 55%, are using in-house monitoring solutions. This echoes the trend we saw with tooling suggesting a preference for customization and control over the entire AI development process.
It seems like there's a common thread here.
Yeah.
Companies want to be hands-on with their AI, from building it to monitoring it.
Exactly. And as AI becomes more deeply integrated into critical systems, this focus on lifecycle management will only become more important.
Now, another thing that strikes me about AI development is that it's not just a solitary endeavor.
Right.
It seems like a very collaborative process.
You're absolutely right. AI development is breaking down traditional silos. It requires a much more interdisciplinary approach involving various teams and expertise.
So who are the key players involved in this collaborative effort? Who's at the table, so to speak?
The most common participants, according to the report, are engineering leadership executives, product teams, subject matter experts, SMEs, and design.
It makes sense that engineers are heavily involved. But what about these other groups like SMEs and product teams? Why are they so crucial in AI development?
Their involvement signals a critical shift. We're moving away from purely technical implementations towards AI systems that are deeply integrated into specific business processes and user experiences. SMEs bring that crucial domain expertise to ensure the AI aligns with real-world needs, while product teams help translate those needs into user-friendly applications.
So it's not just about building a cool piece of technology.
Right.
It's about building an AI that actually solves real problems for real users.
Precisely. And the increased involvement of non-technical roles points to the democratization of AI development.
Okay.
Natural language is a key driver here, making it easier for people without coding experience to contribute.
It's fascinating to see how AI is becoming more accessible and collaborative. So let's geek out for a minute and talk about the technical side.
Okay.
I'm curious about the underlying architecture of these AI systems. Are there any dominant approaches emerging?
The report provides some insights there. It appears that prompting and retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, are taking center stage.
Can you refresh my memory on what those are exactly?
Of course. Prompting involves crafting specific instructions or questions to guide the AI's responses. Think of it like giving the AI a set of directions.
Right.
Our RAG builds on that by combining prompting with external knowledge sources like databases or documents. This helps to ground the AI's responses and make them more accurate.
Right. And earlier we talked about those pesky AI hallucinations.
Yeah.
RA seems like a great way to combat those, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. By giving the AI access to relevant and reliable information, we can reduce the chances of it making things up or going off on tangents.
So how widespread are prompting and ARG in current AI development?
The survey found that fine-tuned models, which require more computational resources and specialized expertise, are less common. Only about 32.5% of respondents are using them.
Oh.
On the other hand, nearly 60% are using vector databases, a key component of RAG.
I can see why prompting and RAG offer a more cost-effective and flexible approach compared to fine-tuning. It's like giving someone the resources to find the information they need versus trying to teach them everything from scratch.
That's a great analogy, and as the tools for prompting and RAG continue to improve, I expect we'll see even wider adoption of these techniques.
Okay, so we've talked about the development stages, the challenges, the tools, and even the architecture.
Right.
But now the big question, what about the impact? Are companies actually seeing tangible benefits from all of their AI investments?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the report does shed some light on this. The top perceived impacts are competitive advantage in cost and time savings, reported by 31.6% and 27.1% of respondents, respectively.
That makes sense. AI has the potential to automate tasks, make processes more efficient, and even create new products and services. But what about the flip side?
Yeah.
Are there any downsides or unintended consequences that we should be aware of?
It's definitely something to consider while the report doesn't dive deep into potential negative impacts. One statistic stood out to me. Nearly 25% of respondents reported no measurable impact yet.
That's a significant number.
Yeah.
It suggests that AI isn't a magic bullet.
Exactly. It's important to have realistic expectations and recognize that seeing tangible results from AI investments can take time. We need to think long-term and focus on building sustainable AI solutions that align with our strategic goals.
It's all about playing the long game. And speaking of the future, what are companies planning for 2025 and beyond?
Right.
What trends are on their radar?
The report reveals some exciting plans. The top 3 priorities are building more customer-facing AI applications, developing more complex agentic workflows, and upskilling teams.
Those sound like ambitious goals. Can you break those down a bit further?
Sure. The focus on customer-facing applications suggests that companies see the potential of AI to enhance user experiences and potentially create new revenue streams.
Okay.
The development of agentic workflows is particularly intriguing. It refers to AI systems that can automate more complex tasks and decision-making processes, essentially acting as intelligent agents.
So instead of just assisting humans, these agentic AI systems will be able to operate more independently. That sounds like a significant leap forward. What kind of impact could that have?
It's a glimpse into the growing ambition and sophistication of AI applications, and it raises some interesting questions about the future of work and the role of humans in a world where AI is increasingly capable of independent action.
It's both exciting and a little bit unnerving, isn't it?
It is, and that's why that third priority, upskilling teams, is so crucial. As AI becomes more powerful and pervasive, we need to equip people with the skills and knowledge to work effectively alongside these intelligent systems.
So to wrap up this part of our deep dive, it's clear that 2025 is shaping up to be a pivotal year for AI. We're seeing a transition from hype to reality, with both exciting possibilities and some significant challenges to overcome.
Indeed, and as AI continues to evolve at this rapid pace, it's more important than ever to stay informed, engage in thoughtful discussions, and consider the broader implications of this transformative technology.
Well said. We'll be back in part 2 to delve deeper into some of these trends and explore what they mean for you, the listener.
Welcome back.
It's remarkable how quickly this AI stuff is evolving.
I know, right? It feels like we're on the cusp of something truly transformative.
Yeah.
But with all this rapid progress, it's easy to get lost in the details. So let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
What are the key takeaways from our deep dive into this 2025 State of AI Development Report? What does it all mean?
One of the things that really struck me was just the diversity in the AI landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we see this wide range of development stages and use cases and approaches.
Yeah.
It's clear that there's no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to AI.
You're absolutely right. It's not just about, choosing the best model or platform. It's about figuring out what actually works for your specific goals and your needs.
Absolutely. And that's where the report's emphasis on tooling becomes so crucial.
Yeah.
Whether you're building your own AI systems or integrating existing ones, you need the right tools to manage that entire life cycle.
Yeah.
From development and testing to deployment and monitoring. And we saw a clear trend toward companies building their own internal tools.
Right.
It seems like they're really looking for solutions that fit their specific needs, even if it means taking on, the extra work of building them in-house.
It's an interesting trade-off.
Yeah.
On the one hand, you have the potential for a perfectly tailored solution.
Yeah.
But on the other, you're committing resources that you might otherwise allocate to other aspects of AI development.
So listeners, if you're thinking about building your own AI tools, it's worth carefully weighing those pros and cons.
Absolutely.
Maybe there's a perfectly good third-party solution out there.
Yeah.
That can do 80% of what you need.
Yeah.
And, save you a lot of time and effort.
That's a great point. And it's not just the technical aspects that are evolving. The challenges of AI development are changing too.
Right.
We still have the big ones like AI hallucinations.
Oh, yeah, those are still there.
And the ever-present need to refine our prompting techniques.
Right, those haven't magically disappeared.
Right. But the report highlights some new organizational challenges that are starting to surface.
Yeah. What are some of those?
Exactly. Things like prioritizing use cases, finding the right talent, and navigating the ethical considerations of AI development are becoming increasingly important.
It's like AI is growing up.
Yeah.
And with that growth comes a whole new set of responsibilities and complexities.
I agree. And speaking of impact, the report highlights both the potential benefits and the uncertainties around return on investment.
Right.
While some companies are reporting big gains in efficiency, cost savings, and competitive advantage, others are still figuring out how to measure the tangible impact of their AI projects.
It's a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it?
It is.
It's a good reminder that AI isn't a guaranteed path to success.
Yeah.
It requires careful planning, execution, and constant evaluation to really unlock its potential.
I think that's a critical takeaway for our listeners.
Yeah.
Don't jump into AI just because it's the hot new thing.
Right.
Have a solid strategy, know what you want to achieve, and be prepared to put in the work.
Couldn't agree more. But even with all the challenges, we can't deny that AI is rapidly advancing.
Absolute.
The report's insights into future trends, like these agentic workflows we talked about, suggest that we're on the brink of a new era of AI-powered automation and decision-making.
It really does feel like we're standing on the edge of something big.
Yeah.
These agentic workflows where AI systems can essentially act as independent agents have the potential to revolutionize the way we work and live.
What if you had an AI assistant that could not only schedule your meetings, but also analyze your projects and predict which ones are most likely to succeed?
That's the kind of transformative potential we're talking about.
Wow.
But it also raises questions about the role of humans in a future where AI is capable of making more and more decisions.
It's a conversation we need to have.
Absolutely.
And it's a good reminder that AI is not just a technology. It's a force that's reshaping our world. So listeners, as you continue your own exploration of AI, remember to stay informed, engage with these big questions, and think critically about the role you want AI to play in your life.
Now, shifting gears a bit, let's dive into one of the most talked about aspects of AI development, the rise of multimodal AI.
Yes, let's talk about that.
We touched on it briefly earlier,
Right.
But the report really highlights how AI is moving beyond just text and embracing other forms of data like images, audio, and video.
So instead of just reading and writing, AI is now learning to see and hear.
Exactly. This shift is being driven by several factors.
Yeah.
Advancements in deep learning algorithms are playing a big role.
Okay.
We also have access to massive data sets now, which provide the fuel for these AI models to learn and improve. And of course, the increasing computational power of hardware is making it possible to process all this data in a way that wasn't feasible just a few years ago.
It's all coming together at the perfect time. And we're already seeing some incredible applications. AI systems that can generate realistic images and videos translate languages in real time, even compose music.
The possibilities are truly mind-boggling.
Yeah.
As AI gets better at processing and understanding these different modalities, we can expect to see even more innovative and transformative applications.
The report mentions that images are approaching 50% adoption in AI applications.
Right.
That's a significant jump.
It is.
What's driving this growth in image-based AI?
It's a combination of factors, but the development of powerful image recognition and generation models is a major driver.
Okay.
We now have AI systems that can identify objects, scenes, and faces in images with incredible accuracy. And on the flip side, these models can generate realistic images from scratch, almost indistinguishable from photographs taken by humans.
It's almost like giving AI the gift of sight. And this is leading to some really interesting applications. I'm thinking about things like medical diagnoses, self-driving cars, even personalized marketing and content creation.
Those are all great examples. And it's not just images. Audio and video are also seeing steady growth in AI adoption.
Yes. The report highlights some significant progress in areas like speech recognition, natural language understanding, and video analysis.
Right now, we have AI systems that can understand and respond to spoken commands, translate languages in real time, and even generate realistic audio and video content.
Imagine a world where you can have a natural conversation with your computer, or where AI can create personalized videos tailored to your interests.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think how far we've come in such a short time.
It really is. We're on the verge of a new era of AI where these intelligent systems can interact with the world in a much richer and more nuanced way.
And that has the potential to transform industries, revolutionize user experiences, and even change how we understand what it means to be human.
It's a powerful thought, and as we move deeper into this world of multimodal AI, it's important to remember that evaluation becomes even more critical.
Yes, evaluation is key to making sure that these increasingly complex AI systems are actually doing what we want them to do and doing it well.
Exactly. When you have AI processing and generating multiple types of data, you have to consider a much broader range of evaluation metrics. It's not just about measuring accuracy. You need to think about things like bias interpretability and robustness.
The report showed that manual testing and review are still the dominant methods of evaluation.
Right.
But as AI systems get more sophisticated, that approach is going to become increasingly difficult.
Absolutely. We need more automated and scalable evaluation tools, especially as AI becomes more integrated into critical applications.
And the challenge of evaluation is even more pronounced in the context of multimodal AI.
Yeah.
When you have multiple data types, it's harder to define those clear evaluation metrics and make sure the AI system is working consistently across all these different formats.
That's a key point. You can't just evaluate each modality in isolation. You have to look at how the AI handles the interplay between them, for example. How does it integrate visual and textual information, or how does it generate audio that makes sense with a given video?
So it's a complex and evolving challenge, and it's going to require a lot of innovation and collaboration between researchers, developers, and the people actually using these AI systems.
Couldn't agree more. Evaluation is a cornerstone of responsible AI development, and it's something we can't afford to overlook as AI becomes more capable and more pervasive.
Now, speaking of responsibility, let's talk about the ethical considerations of AI development.
It's a crucial conversation. As AI becomes more integrated into our lives, we need to make sure it's being used in a way that aligns with our values and principles.
Absolutely. Ethics can't be an afterthought. It has to be woven into the fabric of AI development from the very beginning.
That's right. We need to think about the potential impact of AI on individuals, communities, and society as a whole, and we need to develop guidelines and frameworks to promote responsible AI use.
And the ethical considerations become even more complex with multimodal AI.
Right.
When you have systems that can process and generate multiple forms of data, you have to be even more careful about potential biases, privacy concerns, and unintended consequences.
For example, if you're using AI to analyze video footage, you need to make sure the system isn't making biased judgments based on things like race, gender, or ethnicity. And if you're using AI to create personalized content, you need to be very mindful of privacy and make sure users have control over their data.
So it's not just about building AI systems that are technically impressive.
Right.
It's about building systems that are ethical, fair, and aligned with human values.
Exactly. And that requires a multifaceted approach. Open and honest conversations about the potential risks and benefits of AI are essential.
Yeah.
We need to develop clear ethical guidelines and frameworks, and those principles need to be incorporated into the design, development, and deployment of AI systems.
It's a responsibility shared by everyone involved, researchers, developers, policymakers, and even the public.
Absolutely. The future of AI depends on our ability to navigate these ethical challenges and ensure that AI is ultimately used for good.
Well said. On that note, we'll wrap up part 2 of our deep dive into AI in 2025. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the big picture takeaways to the rise of multimodal AI and the ethical considerations that come with it. Welcome back to the deep dive.
It's great to be back.
We've been on quite a journey exploring the world of AI in 2025, from those high-level trends to some of the nitty-gritty details of how AI systems are actually being built and deployed.
It's been a fascinating discussion. We've covered a lot of ground, from the technical details of AI development to the broader ethical implications.
And now it's time to get even more concrete. Let's look at some real-world examples of how this technology is being used today, beyond all the hype and the theory.
Great idea. We've talked a lot about the potential of multimodal AI now. Let's see it in action.
Let's start with healthcare. I've been hearing so much about how AI is poised to revolutionize this industry. It seems like every day there's a new article about some breakthrough AI application in medicine.
It's definitely one of the most promising areas for AI application, and multimodal AI is playing a key role. Think about AI systems that can analyze medical images like X-rays and CT scans, potentially with even greater accuracy than human radiologists.
That's incredible. It's like having a second opinion, but from this incredibly powerful AI.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just image analysis. AI can also monitor patient vital signs, alerting healthcare providers to potential problems in real time.
So it's like having this extra set of eyes and ears constantly watching over patients. That could be a real game changer for patient care, especially in critical care settings.
Absolutely. And it's not just about improving accuracy and efficiency. Multimodal AI can also help personalize treatment plans, predict patient outcomes, and even assist in developing new drugs and therapies.
Wow, it's really exciting to think about how AI could transform healthcare. The possibilities seem endless, but the potential benefits extend far beyond just one industry, right?
Right, let's take retail, for example. Multimodal AI is already being used to personalize shopping experiences, optimize supply chains, and even design new products.
So instead of just, browsing online or wandering through a store aimlessly, you could have an AI that understands your preferences and recommends products that are, perfectly tailored to your needs.
Exactly. Imagine walking into a store and having an AI-powered system that recognizes you, greets you by name, and suggests items you might like based on your past purchases or browsing history.
That would definitely make shopping a lot more enjoyable and efficient, and it sounds like AI could help retailers too by predicting demand and optimizing inventory.
Absolutely. AI can analyze huge amounts of sales data to anticipate what customers will want and when. This can help retailers avoid overstocking or running out of popular items, which can save them a lot of money.
It's a win-win for both consumers and businesses. What other industries are being impacted by multimodal AI?
Education is another great example. AI has the potential to personalize learning experiences, provide real-time feedback, and create truly immersive educational content.
So instead of the traditional one-size-fits-all approach, we could have AI tutors that adapt to each student's individual learning style and pace.
Exactly. Imagine an AI tutor that can identify a student's strengths and weaknesses and tailor lessons to their specific needs. It could provide personalized feedback and guidance, helping students learn more effectively.
And with virtual reality and augmented reality becoming more sophisticated, AI could create these incredible immersive experiences for students.
Absolutely. Imagine learning about ancient Rome by virtually walking through the streets of the city or experiencing historical events firsthand through augmented reality.
That would make learning so much more engaging and memorable. It sounds like AI could really transform education as we know it.
And these are just a few examples. The applications of multimodal AI are truly vast, spanning industries, from transportation and manufacturing to finance and entertainment.
It's clear that AI is becoming more and more integrated into every aspect of our lives, and as this trend continues, it's important to remember the ethical considerations we discussed earlier.
Absolutely. We need to make sure that AI is developed and used responsibly in a way that benefits all of humanity.
We've talked a lot about the principles of responsible AI development, but for our listeners who might be new to this, can you break down what that looks like in practice? What are the concrete steps that companies and developers can take?
Of course, responsible AI development is about building systems that are transparent, accountable, fair, and privacy-preserving. Transparency means that we can understand how AI systems work and make decisions, We need to be able to identify potential biases and ensure that AI is used fairly.
And accountability is crucial too. If an AI system makes a mistake or causes harm, someone needs to be held responsible.
Exactly. We also need to protect individual privacy and ensure that personal data is used ethically and responsibly.
So it's not just about writing code, it's about thinking through the potential consequences of AI and in making sure that it's used in a way that aligns with our values and, respects human dignity and autonomy.
And it's an ongoing process. As AI continues to evolve, we need to constantly reevaluate our ethical frameworks and make sure they're keeping pace with the technology.
Right. It's not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing conversation and a commitment to doing the right thing even when it's hard.
Exactly.
It's a shared responsibility. Everyone involved in AI development, from researchers and developers to policymakers and business leaders, has a role to play.
And it's important for the public to be informed and engaged as well. The future of AI is not something that should be decided in a vacuum. We need to have open and honest conversations about the potential risks and benefits of this technology and involve a diverse range of voices in these discussions.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into AI in 2025, let's leave our listeners with a call to action. What can they do to help ensure that AI is used for good, in a way that benefits all of us?
First and foremost, stay informed. Read about AI, follow the latest developments, and engage in conversations about its implications. Second, advocate for responsible AI development, support organizations and initiatives that are working to promote ethical AI principles. And finally, think critically about the role of AI in your own life. How is it affecting you, and how can you use your voice to help shape its future?
It's up to all of us to shape the future of AI in a way that benefits everyone. This technology has incredible potential, but it's important to use it wisely and ethically.
AI is a powerful tool. Let's make sure we wield it responsibly.
Well said. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI in 2025. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking.
It's been a pleasure exploring this fascinating landscape with you.
Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring the ever-evolving world of AI.